What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Life of Lauren. I'm back with another cooking video. If you didn't know, I really like cooking on my TikTok, which I'll link in the description box. I love to share recipes, and now that it's autumn and now that it's fall, I really want to get into some cozy fall recipes because I just love soups, I love casseroles, I love anything warm that makes you feel good and just gets you prepared for Christmas because I love Christmas even more. So today I'm gonna be sharing some of those really warm, feels like home recipes that I love, starting with this crock pot chicken pot pie. So the first thing that I didn't realize before I picked these recipes was that they all needed to be started 4 hours before recording. So I will be including and just keep into consideration that all of these need to be prepared and started 4 hours before the time that you want to eat them. And then there's just like a last few finishing touches that need to be done when it's time to eat them. Okay, so for the chicken pot pie, I'm just gonna briefly show you the ingredients and I'll list them all in the description box. But for our spices, we have paprika, oregano, black pepper, and salt. And you're gonna use 1 teaspoon of each of these. For our fresh produce, we have half an onion you're gonna chop up, 1/4 cup of parsley, 1 cup of carrots, and then of course the chicken, which I don't have out here because like I said, it's already in the crock pot. And then you're gonna need 10 ounces of cream of chicken and 1 1/4 cup of chicken broth. Lastly, at the very end, I'll show you what we're gonna do. We're going to go ahead and shred the chicken, and then we're gonna add our frozen peas and corn. The reason that we're not adding those things like in the beginning is because you don't want them to be all soggy when it's time to eat them. So at this point, your chicken should be fully cooked, so it's like extremely easy to shred just using a fork. And once we add this back into the crock pot, we're gonna go ahead and add 1 cup of corn and 1 cup of peas, both frozen, and we'll let that sit for about 10 more minutes. So now you're gonna go ahead and add your frozen peas and your frozen corn, like I mentioned before. You wanna do about 1 cup of each, but personally, I don't love peas. I like them, but I don't love them. So I'm gonna eyeball it and add approximately, maybe like 1/2 cup. I don't know. The point where I'm like, okay, that's enough peas. That should be good. And then I really love corn, so I'm gonna go crazy with this one. And I'm gonna mix it and see if that looks like it's enough. Now you can see it's looking more like chicken pot pie because the carrots were already being cooked at the bottom. While we're letting this simmer for a little bit and just unthaw the peas and the corn, we're gonna take these biscuits and put them in the oven because obviously one of the best parts of chicken pot pie is the crust, and obviously there's no crust for this, so you use this as a substitution, which is just as delicious when you're eating it. Just pretend like those are homemade. All right, moving on into our second recipe. I absolutely love Chick-fil-A's chicken tortilla soup, and I found a recipe that, this was last year, I found a recipe that I felt tasted exactly like it. I finally mastered it, so let's get into it. The things you'll need for that are black beans, Great Northern beans, these Rotel tomatoes, regular corn, sweet corn, half and half, And then the only seasoning you need for this is taco seasoning. Sounds gross. All of these you're gonna see look a little funny when you start them, but you gotta trust the process. Just trust the process and it gets better. And then of course, 2 chicken breasts that you're going to, what I did is I boiled them beforehand and then I shredded the chicken and just put it in there right away. So you'll see that it looks a little funny in the beginning, but now we're gonna add like the finishing things to throw it all together. So for our regular corn, you're gonna drain it, but for the sweet corn, you're gonna leave it as is, obviously, and just dump the whole thing in. Okay, so you're gonna see that when you open this, it does not look the most appetizing just yet because we're missing some ingredients, but we're gonna add our drained can of corn and then the full can of sweet corn. Additionally, if you remember, or if you typically get the soup from Chick-fil-A, it's like more of a creamy consistency, and right now it's just looks like broth. So the way you make it creamy is you add 3/4 cup of half and half. Like I said, trust the process, people. Okay, they're starting to look normal, like the real soup. Now we're gonna let this sit and thicken a little bit before we serve it. All right, so when it comes to fall desserts, I wanted to leave a dessert in here. What do you think of? You think of pumpkins, apples? I hate pumpkins. I tried to look for a recipe to include pumpkin and I just couldn't. So an apple recipe. I love apple pie. I love like apple crumble, all of those types of apple things. And I feel like I finally found a recipe that comes close to it and is still healthy. So first things first, we're gonna take this apple and we're gonna cut it into small cubes. So now that you've cut them up into small pieces, you're gonna put them in a bowl. And then we're gonna doctor it up a little bit. We're going to add, actually, you definitely want to add some sort of oil, whether that be coconut oil, this is avocado oil, even olive oil. Then we're gonna add cinnamon. Make sure it's cinnamon, because last time I made this, which was like last week, I added tons of paprika instead. Like a lot of cinnamon. And then take some sweetener, whether it be stevia, even brown sugar if you really wanted to. I'm using pure maple syrup. It's just like a healthier, more natural sugar, just to sweeten it. And I'm only gonna put a little bit. Now we're gonna mix that up. You're gonna add it to the air fryer. Just make sure they're dispersed evenly. While that's happening, we're gonna turn on the stove and we are going to take some oatmeal. I'm almost out, so I'm gonna use the whole thing. Add some more oil to that, wherever I put it. I guess you could use butter too. That would probably taste even better. And we're gonna kind of just toast this. And while that's getting warm, we're gonna chop up some pecans. I'm gonna let Leo try these per usual. He's like the ultimate taste tester. So I'm gonna just sample it real quick. I need like the perfect bite. I didn't add celery because I just didn't feel like it, but you can add celery as well. This might take a while, hold on. Just as I expected. Perfect. Next, my tortilla soup. Okay. Perfect bite. Very good. I did it again. I'm just kidding. So once this is done toasting, you just turn it off. And we wait for the apples because that's the last thing we need to finish the dessert. All right, time to start preparing our samples for Leo. And I know you didn't think I forgot these. These are like what make it. It's the texture. Okay, you ready for this? Now for the chicken pot pie. Now we're just waiting for his biscuit. Looks good. Here I have Leo to taste test again. Like I said, per usual, starting with tortilla soup. Chick-fil-A tortilla soup.
Lauren edition though. See.
Let's hear the crunch. Good, right? Does it taste like Chick-fil-A's?
Honestly, pretty cool. This actually tastes better.
Wow. Not surprised. Okay. Let his palate resettle.
Really good.
Thank you. Now, take this bite, a little bit of everything on it, with the biscuit.
With the biscuit, got it. We'll do it like this. And I like really creamy stuff like this, so I'm excited.
So much flavor, so much goodness. Yeah?
This is really good.
He's not getting paid to say this, by the way.
I'm not.
Which one's better now that you've tried them both?
Which one's better? Both actually are really good. I like this more, only because of the creamy and everything like that. That's more of a soup, but I mean, they're both really good. This one definitely is my favorite though, because of the biscuit.
Okay.
It does it.
Well, there you have it, people. They're both good. Now, the dessert is ready, so let's plate it as well. Our apples are ready. Almost burnt them, but I didn't. Toasted to perfection. So we're gonna take our apples and put them into the bowl. They should be super, super like squishy at this point. That should be the texture of them. Okay, so we have our apples. Now we're gonna come over here and add what I like to think of as our crust. Oh God. Oh no. Okay, there we go. That should be good. Okay, so we have our crust, but it doesn't end there. What you're gonna do next is you're gonna take this Halo Top ice cream. I wouldn't consider this healthy. I think it's healthier. It has lower sugars, less calories, so it makes the overall dessert less calories. But you're gonna take that and add it to the top. And this like really, really cures my sweet tooth. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching my cozy fall recipes video. I hope this gave you ideas to use. For sure, comment below if you have any of your favorite like soups or just warm meals that scream fall, because like I said, I love all things warm and cozy, and I would totally try them out. All of this stuff is super simple to make, pretty cheap, and just delicious overall. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.